Howdy folks, Joe DiSanto here. Thanks for joining me in another amazing Quicken tutorial. All right, in this one, we are going to quickly go over Quicken Classic, whether it be Mac or PC, database file location, and just talk a little bit about the whole database file thing, and hopefully it'll avoid some confusion for you at some point in your Quicken journey. The classic version of Quicken, not to be confused with the Quicken, what I call new web-based product. The classic version of Quicken, both Windows and Mac, is a locally installed program. Right now, we are looking at Quicken Classic for Windows. You may be like, hey, Joe, your computer looks like it's a Mac, though. And you're right. I run the Windows version vis-a-vis Parallels, which is a program that allows you to run Windows programs on your Mac. I do that because I've always had Parallels, number one, so it wasn't any extra cost for me. And two, I've been using Quicken before there was a Mac version. I literally been using the same database file for like 25 years. So I didn't want to switch to Mac when I got a Mac, like, I don't know how, decade ago. So I run it on Parallels. But this is the Windows version of the locally installed. And this, so you know, is the Mac version. But I'm going to look here on the Windows version. And when you just install the classic version, install Windows, and you open Quicken, and it says, hey, you want to start a new file? And you say, yeah, and you name it your name. And you move on and you go into the program and you start doing your thing. And a lot of people don't realize that there is a file sitting in a folder on your computer that stores all the information that you input into Quicken. And truth be told, even on the new web-based version, that is a database file software. It's just that the database file is on some server in some data center. It's not on your computer. But there has to be a file that stores your data, or a folder with a collection of files. But if you only use Quicken for yourself, Quicken is set up to just reopen the same database file every time, reopen the last database file you've had open. So if you only do it for yourself, every time you open Quicken, it's just going to go look at your database file, open it up, and a lot of people just think the data is somewhere, but they don't really know where. Now, the main way to find it, if you go over here to the file menu, you can say, show this file on my computer. Just like show in Finder, it'll bring up the location of the database file. And, you know, in my case, you're going to see here, I hosted on Dropbox. I'm going to do another video about that. Hosting your database file on Dropbox allows you to open it up on other computers, and it's also a good backup thing, but Quicken does not support that setup, just FYI. Another video on that. But this is where this current database file is. Now, this database file I've opened, you can see up here, this is where you can see which database file you have open without doing the find file, and it reads right there, PL tutorial file template with accounts. If I, again, go show this file on my computer, it's going to bring up and highlight the file PL tutorial template with accounts. And then, at least for my Windows instance, it shows me a little file path right here. So that is the way to find it. Hey, quick interruption. If you're trying to get your personal finances to the next level and really create financial security for yourself, check out my course, Personal Finance Mastery, at the link below. Generally, out of the box, for Windows version, Quicken will usually install your database file in your user documents. So this is my Windows computer, and if I go to my local drive under users, username, and then documents, and usually, yeah, see, I have a folder in there, you know, from way back when, and it actually has a database file in there. Now, where your database file is doesn't really matter. It could be on your desktop. It could be in that folder. Even in my case, I put them on Dropbox. There are usually both the file and then some hidden files and then a folder. So you don't really want to have it on your desktop. Or if you do, you want to have it in like one self-contained folder. Now, if you happen to use multiple databases, and the reason you might do that is some of my clients that I've helped, you know, they do their accounting for their aging parents. So they don't want to have an intermixing of accounting. So they created a new Quicken instance, new Quicken file for their parents. And here, let's just do that. We'll put that here. We'll call parents. Okay. Quicken now is going to create a new file here. Oh, and here, look, it's saying, hey, it looks like you're saving this on Dropbox. We don't like that. We don't do that. But I'm going to say, I don't care. I'm going to do it anyway. It's going to take you through this process, blah, blah, blah. And then you're going to have a new database file. What you can do, though, is, you probably say, hey, well, how do I get back to my old database file? Because I want to go back to my accounting. And you just go file, you go open Quicken File, go back to where your original file was located, and you open that. Now, I will also say, I'll conclude this video on that database files are associated with your Quicken user and password, like from the website. So if you go buy Quicken, you're going to get a user and password, and you're going to have an account on the Quicken website, and that would be where you go in and log in and change your credit card, do those things. That user and password also gets you into your web-based access of Quicken Classic. If that is a new concept to you, I have a video on that. Go watch that. It's a way you can access your Quicken data via the web or mobile, even if you have Classic. But that user and password also gets associated with your database files. So right now, this file here is associated with my Quicken user and password. Anytime you're logged in, to Quicken, even on your desktop, and you make a new database file, it's going to associate that with your user and password. It used to be the case that you could only have one database file per user and password if you wanted to use the web-based functionality, but they've changed that, and you can actually have multiple databases associated with your username and password, your one username and password, and you can sync those multiple databases to the web-based setup. So you could have both your data accessible by web-based and your parents', and there's like in there a little toggle. So anyway, there you go. That's the database file for Windows, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.